Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. We are talking perfumes today. Top 10 cheapies that I highly recommend to you. Now it's one of those topics that I've been asked a lot. A lot of my subscribers and also on Instagram I'm receiving DMs asking me, Dacob, which are the cheapies, the more affordable perfumes that you would recommend? And I mean, there are really beautiful ones out there, so we're going to get right to it. But first, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together, for extra perks. Thank you to all my patrons who have pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream from my main superdacob channel every Saturday, and you're all invited to join me there for the fun times and the live chat. So let's cue in the live chats. Hello, my dear co-conspirators. So, let's get straight to it. And also, it's really fun for whoever's live in the chats to guess which ones would be the top 10 cheapies. Now, some of them are very obvious. If you follow my channel for some time, you're gonna know which perfumes are so dear to me that happen to be thankfully on the lower end cheapie side. Now, what is a cheapie? This does not mean by no means, oh, you can't afford an expensive perfume, oh, this, oh, that. None of the snobbery. This is just beautifully smelling perfumes that happen to cost, if we're lucky, under $20, okay? But up to $30-ish dollars. I would call a cheapie definitely everything under $20. Like if we're talking 3.4 ounces or 100 ml, if you can get a 100 ml perfume that you love under $20, we could safely say that's a cheapie. You could also, you could debate this and say maybe a cheapie is more under $15 per 3.4 ounces. But for me, I set that limit to 20, maximum $30. Like if I really, really love a perfume, and I can get 100 ml under $30, to me that's also still a cheapie. But let's say cheapie is under 30, but preferably under $20 per 100 ml. All right. Oh, Leo says cheapie is under 50 to me. Now I'm trying to make this like even more available to everybody. So let's try to keep it under $30. Now the first one, of course, is the love of my life and the love of my mom's life. It's Giorgio Beverly Hills. And actually, this one, you can even get it for $15. This one is not made as 100 ml. This is a 90 ml bottle, but they also do 30 ml. So this is a 3 ounce. Oh, love this perfume so much. Giorgio Beverly Hills, if you're lucky, you can find it for around about $15 for the 3 ounces. So this is definitely a cheapie. Giorgio Beverly Hills is a wonderfully white floral fragrance for summer, but also for winter, with tuberose, with gardenia, with jasmine, synthetic musks, because it is, produced a little bit cheaper nowadays, but I still live for it so much. Just try not to get the made in Spain version. Try to hunt down the made in France version, made in UK version, made in the US version, which is what I have here, is the best in my humble opinion, but made in France is really good too. Oh my God, live and ferret. This is a beautiful masterpiece of a perfume that came out in the early 80s. It's still in production today. And yeah, if you can get 3 ounces under $20 of this, that's a cheapie. And it's a beautiful perfume. If you're into white florals, of course. This is it. This is where it's at. You can check out the review of this perfume on my channel. I've reviewed Giorgio. I respect this perfume so much and I love it so much. Now, so I guess that was kind of like a given, right? Well, here's another one that's a given. Another cheapie. Strangely enough, though, this one you can hunt it down as a cheapie, particularly when in its 30 milliliter bottle, the 1 ounce. If you try to hunt down the 1.7 ounce, which is the 50 ml, that costs a lot. But strangely enough, Cacharel LouLou sells this one as a cheapie in the 30 ml version, and not so much a cheapie in the 50 ml. So always hunt down your 30 ml of LouLou, also another 80s masterpiece. So if you're lucky, and I always wait for like extra reductions, I get 30 ml LouLou also for around about $18, $15 to $18 for 30 ml LouLou. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fragrance. It's like a purpley, lilac-y lavender smell with tuberose in it as well. And it has that tiare flower, the Hawaiian tiare flower, which gives it that beautiful velvety warmth. It's a wonderful perfume. And it is a cheapie. But don't go for the 50 mil. Hunt down the 30 mil if you want to get a good bargain. Oh my God. Live-In Ferret. Live-In Ferret. That was my number 2. Number 3 is a 90s masterpiece. It came out in 1990/1991, and that is Cabotine by Gres. And it is still in production today. It is, if you've ever smelled Tender Poison. Tender Poison came after Cabotine. Tender Poison copies Cabotine. Cabotine is better though. But if you've ever smelled Tender Poison, that's how Cabotine smells. This one is still in production. I got this 100 ml bottle for $12 on Amazon. And actually it comes and goes. Sometimes you get special offers on this one. Sometimes you don't. So you might have to be patient with this one from time to time, but it is a cheapie. I mean, see, 12 or 15. Oh, thank you so much for the donation, Cindy Moms. Let me pop a cherry for you.
Heart.
Hold on. Thank you so much for popping cherries. If you send a donation or super chat. Ah! Oh my God. We pop a cherry. Yes, Queen. We got here a little confetti moment. Thank you so much. So, Cabotine is a beautifully green fragrance that has this special molecule extracted from the ginger lily. I call her the tiger ginger lily. It's a beautiful perfume, and yeah, $12 to $15 for 100 ml. You know, and it's often that cheap. I love how the bottle reflects all the purpley colors of the room of the fashion bunker, and you get this like gorgeous, like almost like disco ball effect. It's a beautiful green floral. Really, really worth every penny, and it is a cheapie, so definitely that's on my list. Number 4, believe it or not, number 4 is a very famous perfume. Like famous, all of the other ones are famous as well, but this one was like also from the 80s. It's still in production today. Obsession by Calvin Klein. Obsession by Calvin Klein. You might think, wait a minute, this is not a cheapie. Actually, it is, because very often you can find Obsession by Calvin Klein 100 ml under $20. There's often special offers on this one. Also often on Amazon. And Coty is the current distributor and manufacturer of Obsession by Calvin Klein for women. Perfume knows no gender for me. This is a beautiful ambery vanilla fragrance. Okay, there's amber vanilla. It's green in the opening notes. And so there's a bit of a spiciness when it opens up, a green spiciness. But then with time, it mellows down to this most beautiful, gorgeous amber, powdery resin. And you know what? Honey. Okay. So from time to time, this one, you can literally find it for $15, 100 ml. Which is exactly what happened to me. $15, give or take, with tax. But, oh my gosh. The current version of Obsession, it opens up quite green, more green than the original 80s version. But the dry down is that beautiful amber, sandy beaches in beige hues, ambery dry down that we're so used to with Obsession by Calvin Klein. So, don't, just run off to your local perfume shop and buy this at full price, because this one is often reduced, like highly reduced, $15 or $20 for 100 ml bottles. So this is for me a cheapie nowadays, and I'm so glad that it's still in production. Number 5. Oh my gosh, we're already halfway through. Well, this is another masterpiece from the 80s. And yeah, we have a lot of 80s. Well, Cabotine is from the 90s, but we have a lot of 80s perfumes. And why do we have a lot of 80s perfumes? Well, because when they were released in the 80s, they were expensive. But now so many decades later. Yeah, decades later. I know, it seems like the 80s were yesterday. Oh, thank you so much, I'm a Baby, for the super chat.
$1.99 super chat from I'm a Baby 902. This is for the ponytail. I'm loving it. Fire.
Thank you so much, sweetie. I have the ponytail, honey. Listen, we're living. Fire, Beetlejuice reality here. Beetlejuice realness reality, really. We're going to pop a platinum cherry for you. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. This one popped. Woohoo. Woohoo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Number 5 is another masterpiece from the 80s. As I said, so many decades later, these perfumes are not as popular as they used to be. So sure, they're reformulated, but the ones I'm showing you today are the ones of which I have current formulas of, or relatively current, so already reformulated, and I still love them despite the reformulations. And one of these is Liz Claiborne, baby. And a lot of you have been asking me, Liz Claiborne, is this the same version of Liz Claiborne as the version in the triangle red, yellow, and blue plastic covered bottles? Yes, it's the same one. They just have different bottles for them. There's always been this bottle, and then there's always been also the other 3 smaller ones with the plastic covers in red, yellow, and blue. This one is amazing. You guys. Oh my God, I got goosebumps just smelling this. This is so beautiful. Liz Claiborne, and you could check out the review of this perfume on my channel, is a modern day Mitsuko. And I say that in the review because it has a Chypre composition, but made for the 80s. Now, Mitsuko is a different perfume than Liz Claiborne, of course, but they have a similar structure in terms of how the peach is utilized in this Chypre, how the oak moss is utilized, except this one does not go bitter. This one elevates. This is like sunshine with beautiful lilac-y powder and rose powder all around you. I know I have Obsession on, but you know what? Oh my gosh. And you can get it also for like 20 to 30 bucks a bottle. It is just divine. I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. Liz Claiborne, made in USA. I think my bottle is made in, well, hold on, let me double check. Because it still has the oak moss in it, the one that I have. Where are you made, Missy? It doesn't say underneath the bottle. I would have to check the actual packaging. I want to say it's made in the US. I bought my bottle in the US, so. Oh. This is where it's at, you guys. And like, you can get this for around $20 to $30. You're going to love it. You really are. And you know, I wear this often in summer. Oh, it gives you the vibes. It makes you feel the shoulder pads all over again. It makes you feel fuchsia nail, gem in the holograms, honey. But like sophistication, like Synergy. What perfume would Synergy wear? I think Synergy would be wearing Liz Claiborne. Such a futuristic bottle as well. This beautiful little triangle. So this is my number 5. Wonderful, wonderful Cheapie. Now, here's one that if you are into refreshing fragrances that you could reapply the whole day through, and you're not the type of person that really wants to wear particularly heavy scents or signature fragrances, but you still want to, you know, want something classic, sturdy, but on a budget. Well, I got something for you. This is a perfume I love to use in summer, and I love to reapply it a lot. And in fact, I don't even have a spray bottle of this one. I always use this one as a splash, and I literally just do this on my chest after showering. I love it to bits. You're never gonna guess. For 7-Eleven, baby, the original Cologne from Cologne. They kind of like invented the whole Cologne process, and this is the 4711, or the address where Napoleon himself used to purchase it, in Cologne. This thing is amazing. It's a very, very classic citrus bergamot. Thank you for subscribing. Citrus bergamot, lemony, fresh Cologne. Obviously, you just, you know, this is a splash bottle, so what I do is I'm not going to splash it all over the stuff I have here now, but I would just like, let me close the lid first, but then I just do that a little, and then I tab it all over myself. It's a wonderfully refreshing fragrance, also to take with you in your bag throughout the day, just to freshen up a little and feel fresh and clean. This is not a fragrance that has this huge longevity or projection. It's just something intimate to make you feel beautifully clean, effervescent, and fresh. And it's the OG Cologne, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, Jesus, you were at Pride in Cologne? Were you wearing Cologne? Nina says, oh my God, I love this one. I lived in Cologne and for a long time, long ago. Beautiful. I'm loving this list. Thank you so much, Nina. This is a beautiful cheapie. You can get it in a lot of pharmacies and drugstores. You can order it, online. They have a ton of different bottles. They have the spray version, the splash bottle, huge one, like liters and liters of it, smaller versions of it. They have even like wet tissues with it. This thing is meant to refresh you. And if you're into that type of delicate, refreshing moment, this is the perfume for you. And you can definitely get it under 20, under $15, depending on what size of the perfume you want to buy. Now, moving on to a masterpiece of a cheapie. And also in this list, it's the only fragrance that I have that is also a star fragrance, a fragrance that was designed or released under the name of a famous person. And that would be, listen, when it comes to star fragrances, there's only one for me. Passion. Passion by Elizabeth Taylor. This thing is amazing. This rocked the 80s. Heavy, powdery, lilac-y. By lilac, I mean the color, not the flower. This is a highly synthetic musk with amber and kind of like an irisy subtone. And if you would envision the smell of purple, it would be Passion by Elizabeth Taylor. Of course, it's a cheapie. You can get this one for literally $10, $15 a bottle. Sure, it's been watered down. It's no longer the 80s sophistication that it was, but it also costs less than it did in the 80s. Nevertheless, in its current formulation, I still highly recommend Passion by Elizabeth Taylor. Passion ruled the world in the 80s, right, I'm a baby? And this particular concentration that I have is an eau de toilette. 44 milliliter spray, 1.5 fluid ounces. My bottle was made in the USA. And the good old US of A, baby. You best believe Elizabeth Taylor is a US icon. Living for it. Living for it. This is a wonderful cheapie. If you want a little bit of decadent class, slightly tacky, but she beholds herself. Oh, I live for those moments. Slight telenovela vibes. Passion is the way to go, and it's a cheapie. Passion is our fashion. Now, the next one. Okay, this one I highly recommend in summer. Only behind the knee because it's so potent, and yes, it is a cheapie as well from Cacharel Eden. Eden by Cacharel, the eau de parfum released in the 90s, 1994 originally. Oh, honey. Again, 30 mil, not 50. The 50 mils are not cheapies. The 30 mils, they treat them more as a cheapie. So you can get this one under $20, $20 to $30, but worth every penny, and it's going to last you years. And I say only sprayed behind the knee in high summer. People say, oh, it's such a glowing perfume. Don't spray it in summer. Spray it in winter. No. You don't get it. Don't overspray it. Only behind the knee. Only in summer. It will blossom behind the knee because it's a pulse point the furthest away from your nose. So if you spray it on your neck, it's going to suffocate you. Just behind both knees. If you're wearing a short skirt or shorts, if you're a guy, or if you're a guy wearing a short skirt, or if you're a girl wearing shorts, whatever you want to wear it, but where the back of the knee is exposed, and you get that beautiful waft of these decaying flowers in this Garden of Eden. It's to die for. Let me spray a little behind the knee. Oh my God, I'm overdoing it. Oh, you know what? Let me just do. I just sprayed a little behind the knee. Why not? Let's live a little. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Steven. Let me pop your cherry.
€4.99 super chat from Stefan D. for the best fragrance reviewer in the world.
Thank you so much. Woo, thank you so much, my love. Woman, thank you for the best fragrance reviewer in the world. Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you. You guys, Eden, but get the 30 mil bottles. They trick you on the 50 mil. The cheapie life of Eden is in the 30 mil bottles, which is the size I have here. Even in its current formulation, I love it to bits, even though it's a bit more metallic than the OG 90s version. Now we come to number 9. Number 9 is, well, you're never going to guess number 9. It's a wonderful one, and it belongs to the Giorgio Beverly Hills family, but it's not Giorgio. It is Red. Red by Giorgio Beverly Hills. I love this perfume. Now, some people call it lychee. Some people say lychee. Well, it's a lychee, however you want to pronounce it, fragrance. But it has so many red ingredients in there that if you want to know how red smells like, this smells like red. Now, obviously, if you get the vintage version, the OG version is incredibly elegant, sophisticated, luxuriously expensive. The current version is watered down, but it is a cheapie. You can get 90 milliliters of this for like $12 or $20. And it's not for everyone. This is a very particular smell, but if dosed properly, it gives you such a luscious, sophisticated smell and allure all around you. I live for it. I love Red by Giorgio Beverly Hills so much. So this is a late 80s release. I want to say 89. Correct me if I'm wrong. Late 80s, early 90s. And it's wonderful. Just wonderful. It's a great, great, great cheapie. Still in production today. Somebody mentioned Colors by Night Colors of Benetton. I love that perfume so much, the 80s Colors, but it's discontinued, you guys. That's why I'm only showing you in this list fragrances that are still available today. Colors is a beautiful perfume, but it's no longer in production. Colors by United Colors of Benetton. So this was number 9. Now, number 10, we have a little bit of a twist because, truth be told, I've been torn between 2 perfumes. Now, I'm going to choose one, but I've been checking this whole week, and it's really tricky with the pricing. So this one can be a cheapie if you're lucky. It was super bizarre. The price on this one fluctuates. It's like the stock market. I don't know why, but this particular perfume fluctuates. I was lucky. I got mine, what is this? 100 ml bottle for $24. But at the moment, it's $50. So I'm like, ooh, so this is not a cheapie at the moment. But when I got it, it was. And it keeps going up and down in price. So that's why I'm going to show you 2 perfumes. I'm going to show you the one I am choosing as number 10. But if at the moment you cannot find it under $30, then I'm going to show you the alternative. But if you can find this under $30, then it is a cheapie for 100 ml. And it is my Cyclamen Flower Queen. I love this perfume to bits. It is Cheap and Chic by Moschino. The name says it even. Cheap and Chic. The olive oil bottle. Did you know that Pierre Dinant designed this bottle? The Pierre Dinant who also designed the opium bottle. The infamous opium bottle from Yves Saint Laurent's Opium, also designed olive oil for Moschino, the Cheap and Chic bottle. Now, this one is to die for. Cyclamens are, it's my favorite flower, by the way, cyclamen. So, to have cyclamen in perfume form, you have to create a synthetic version of it. I guess it's a little bit like a gardenia. I'm not so sure that people can actually extract cyclamens purely, but they smell divine when you see them in the forest. I'm talking wild cyclamens. And this is a cyclamen range perfume. And it's rare to find. Usually you don't find perfumes that are based off of cyclamen that easily, but this one is one of them. And it's fresh, but also powdery. It's zesty, lemony, but it's also floral. This is a wonderful, wonderful fragrance from the 90s. And It was released right after Franco Moschino passed away, and it was the commercial for this one is to die for. I mean, it's literally olive oil crying for the death of Popeye, and she sprays this perfume on herself, and then she goes over Popeye's dead body, and from the smell of this fragrance, Popeye wakes up and is alive again. That commercial gives me the goosebumps every time. It's a masterpiece of a commercial, and it's a masterpiece of a perfume. So if you can find 100 ml under $30, buy it. You're gonna be a little bit shocked at how it smells, because in the opening notes it's screechy and aggressive, but again, don't overspray it, and don't puddle spray. Do it, spray it at a distance. Just kind of spray it and then walk through it. That's when it smells the best. But don't puddle spray it, because then it gets a bit too screechy. So this is definitely my number 10. The design of this bottle is just to die for. But if it's over 30 bucks at the moment, when you're looking at it, I have an alternative for you. And this was my runner-up to Cheap and Chic. And that would be Joop Le Bon, or The Bath by Wolfgang Joop. This perfume smells of Cabbage Patch Kids. Their powdery little faces. The powdery vanilla, clean vanilla with a little bit of juiciness in there. Effervescently beautiful. Oh my gosh. So this one is a cheapie. You can get this one under $30. Joop Le Bon, or, basically translated in English, it would be Joop The Bath. So it's kind of like a fragrance that you use after the bath. Joop Le Bon is delicious. I have the current formulation. It's still super beautiful. It's maybe a little bit less intense than it was back in the 80s, but nevertheless, still really good quality, really good value for money, because this is an intense perfume that is going to last you several hours on your skin. It's going to make you feel fuzzy, cuddly, warm, clean. It has that vanilla that just it makes it almost into a gourmand smell. Joop Le Bon is my number 10 in case Cheap and Chic is not under 30 bucks at the moment. Because as I said, Cheap and Chic keeps fluctuating up and down in price. So sometimes Cheap and Chic is really a cheapie, and sometimes it's not. So to be fair, we also have this one in case Cheap and Chic is not on the cheapie list while you are looking for it. And that would be my top 10 cheapie perfumes. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, thumb it up and let me know your tops. Get your minds out of the gutter. Let me know your tops in the comments down below. And until next time, never give up on love and subscribe.